Hello and welcome to another episode of Construction Sports This Week in Construction. Just getting my voice back. I've had the dreaded man flu at the start of the week, but I've survived it. I've got through it. I've had 45 jabs and 7 weeks on lockdown, and I'm back in the game. Beck Interiors files administration notice once again. Pop, another company. Pop, 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 pop. Construction companies bust, 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 bust. All day, every day. Every week we speak about more companies. And this week, I think I might have mentioned last week maybe, but there's not just Beck Interiors. There's also Blenheim House. So both in the construction industry, both with long-term histories, shall we say, and now both going pop and into the hands of the administrators. What is going on? New government's now in place. Is this going to save our sector? Who knows? I'm not into that political nonsense, but something has got to be done to stop companies going bust. It is crazy. HS2 to spend 100 million shutting sites where work never even started. Work that one out, Mr. QS. HS2 will now need to spend £100 million and take 3 years closing down sites for the cancelled Phase 2 leg despite construction never starting on them. How much money has gone in? I bet you it's probably 100 million what's been done already to get them sites to as they were, and it's not even going to start. £100 million is going in to a HS2 part of the project, Phase 2, and it didn't even start. It is bonkers. So that's all going to happen, and then who knows, at the end of that, they might go, actually, let's turn it back on again. Let's get it going. And then it'll go hundreds of millions again. It's just bonkers. The costs are revealed in National Audit's Office report in the response to last October's decision by former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who can Phase 2 connecting Birmingham to these. What are you doing? Just let us build it. Don't worry about anyone else. Just give us some work. Robert McAlpines, our good friends at Sir Robert McAlpine, they've clinched a £4 billion Somerset Gigafactory. What's a Gigafactory? I don't know, but it sounds big and it looks quite cool. Sir Robert McAlpine has struck a deal to build the first of three major units in the UK's biggest planned EV battery factory at Bridgewater in Somerset. Tata-owned Agratas, that's as in Tata Steel, I imagined, confirmed this morning that the contractor has signed a pre-construction agreement to deliver Building 1, comprising of 2.6 million square foot of built area. Rival bidders are understood to have included Waits and ISG. Wow, there you go. Sir Robert McAlpine now starts preparations for the mega project, which will employ 2,100 workers at peak construction, many across Tier 3 and 4 of the supply chain. Preparatory works have been made underway at the site for several months already, with piling expected to commence in the coming weeks, with 12,000 piles due to be installed. That's a good little number for the piling contractors. We worked with pilers before. Dangerous gig. Take care, lads and ladies. Look after yourselves, because we were involved in we were actually at Aldermaston last year when a guy working for Piling Rig actually was killed, and it was not good. So fingers crossed the Piling boys are all prepped and ready. Man suffers multiple fractures in a HS2 accident. An engineering firm has been fined. They've been fined £52,500 after an employee suffered a fractured skull, hip, jaw and pelvis while working at the HS2 construction site in Hertfordshire. The man, employed by a mechanical engineer, EMC Elite Engineering Services, had been repairing a conveyor at the site when he fell 11 metres on the 20th of November 2022. So this is a while back. Stair treads have been removed. The man was at 57 at the time, fell through this gap and landed on the concrete floor. EMC Elite Engineering Services of Basildon, Essex, just up the road from us, just keep my noise down, pleaded guilty to safety breaches and was fined £52,000 and ordered to pay $6,871 in costs. That isn't a lot of money. I'd be interested to know who are they blaming the guy then to a certain degree. They're actually doing it. Because if you look at it, guy's fallen a long, long way. He's 57 years old, and now he's got a fractured skull, hip, jaw, and pelvis. I don't know, but I'm going to assume that guy probably won't work properly again for the rest of his life. 57 years old with a broken skull, hip, jaw, and pelvis on a HS2 project. The same HS2 project that's spending £100 million on closing parts of the sites that haven't actually opened. That HS2. But he's 57 years old. He's getting paid £57,500. Not sure if that goes to him or not, but you'd like to think he's got another claim going there, because if that isn't his fault and something's happened, there's obviously been a breach in safety why he's not doing his job properly. But he's going to be out of work for a long time. It sounds like it's going to be at least a year's work, isn't it? And to get 52.5 grand or fined, there's got to be some more going into that. Who knows? Be interesting enough. If anybody knows anything about that one, will he get a better claim elsewhere? I hope so. Once again, we're always talking about marathons because we're always doing them. We went out last week. It was only about 75 degrees centigrade. 18 of us, I think, plus our young lad Jasper, work experienced lad who come just to view for a few days, few hours, actually ended up staying the whole time and doing the whole marathon with us. We had a great crack. We had to escape to shelter in 6 different establishments on the back 6 miles of the walk just to make sure we didn't get too much sun. And there happened to be a pub each time. So 10 hours on our feet, 10.5 hours. In and out of a few pubs at the end, a bit of lunch on the route. Awesome experience. If you want to come again, 29th October, Halloween, clowns, we're going London and we're going to go and terrify everybody. Why not? Hey, let's go out there and show what Halloween is all about. So we're going to be doing that end of October. A little way away yet, but that is our next one. As you know, we do them every few months, but in a few months' time, summer's over, Halloween will be here, and then Christmas. There'll be a Christmas one as well. Prepare yourselves. Back on HS2 as well. They're catching all the headlines this week. I got a little thing sent to me, tagged into me, sent to me actually. It popped up on my Facebook actually. A gang are required on HS2 for 2 years' work. No digs are being paid for. But you can start Monday. A triple STS supervisor who will take on all responsibilities of the gang that he's looking after will be paid the fee of £200 a day. And I can only imagine, based on HS2 being it was, you're on site for 10 to 12 hours, fingerprint in, fingerprint out. £200 a day for a supervisor. That's an experienced person overseeing a lot of people being paid peanuts. CSCS General Ops, £150 a day of basic hand tools. And they must also bring small tools, hammers, sledgehammer, shovel, cordless drills, completing minor repairs to fencing. They've literally got to bring all the tools, £150. Does HS2 think it is? That is not right. And you need to look at the companies that are going out there looking for workers on your project, Mr. HS2, because this doesn't sit right with a lot of people. The criticism in the comments on Facebook and also on LinkedIn now as well. You're paying absolute monkeys. These people have to sell themselves to the project to be there that time. People will go to work and on site for 10 hours a day. Chances they don't see their kids during the week because by the time they leave their house and get back home, or in this sense, in HS2, a lot of people stay in digs. You can't be paying people money like that. It is shocking. And then the rest of the industry in the corporate world goes, there's a shortage of labour. We just can't get the workers because you're paying peanuts, you fools. Absolute peanuts. Even like we know people working on sites around our way, just on local sites, who are getting paid way more than that. Our lads get paid more than that. I don't know any ground worker. No ground worker should be going anywhere near a job that is paying money like that. You will risk your life to be on that job. You will get yourself in deep trenches doing works that aren't literally for the norm. And they're not like, it's not labourers' jobs. It's technically, as they say, unskilled working. The Bellons. Please realise, don't sell yourself to do a 12-hour shift for £150 a day. You absolute fools. Something that's come to light, my end. I've had 2 phone calls this week with regards 5 different people who've taken their lives in the last 3 weeks. It is shocking, it is terrifying, and once again, it is putting a dark cloud over our sector. All the time, it's happening. On LinkedIn that same night, there was also an article on there. I'm not going to read it all out. I'm not going to give the names away because they are on this article. If you do want to see them, get in touch. I can send it to you, but I'm not in a position to start naming names in this subject. But someone's put on there as well, someone in Scotland, 3 guys he knew took their own life in the last 8 weeks, all within the construction sector. And his most recent one, he's a friend of him in the scaffold sector. But it is rife, guys. When you think it's gone quiet and you think, oh, it's not as bad anymore, no one's talking about it, it is still happening. We are a charity in the construction sector around mental health. I assure you, and I can tell you, it is happening every freaking day. And nothing is actually changing. Conversations are happening behind the scenes, but no actual actions. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do something now. Bang, stop this, stop that. Nothing like this. No knee-jerk reactions are happening to stop this now. It's just literally getting brushed under the carpet or discussed in boardroom meetings, and it isn't coming out of those meetings. There's too much for these companies to lose, unfortunately. Losing someone through suicide doesn't go down as a problem, as I keep on about, in terms of the company doesn't take responsibility. The industry doesn't really take responsibility. It all gets put down, as the HSC say, as a personal issue. So companies aren't getting their hands slapped. Companies aren't having to jump through hoops to deal with this stuff. All they need to do is stay quiet and let it blow over. That's the truth of it. And it's fucking scandalous that this is even allowed to happen. No industry organisation is willing to change things for the better. Legislation isn't changing anytime soon unless we can really push the heat up, because people aren't actually taking responsibility or accountability for it in the sector. Until they do that, then you will see things start to change. I'm no genius at this stuff, but I know if something isn't actually directly affecting the pocket holder or the stakeholder, shareholder, whatever you want to call it, the pocket of the top pods, they're not going to change things. And they aren't. It's bonkers and it's wrong. There's 3 in the rough right in front of me now, 3 names. Then there's also 5 other people I know. This is coming up to 7, 8 people kind of linked to my network that we know of directly, let alone all the other people, the 749 of 2022 that we keep on talking about. Where are the people pushing for change? We are, we know that, but who's actually pushing and changing it? The multi-million pound charities in the industry, where are they in terms of saying this needs to happen and change? Why aren't people slamming their fist down and making themselves known? Don't be worried. We've put our neck on the line many a times. I have, by shouting these things out. And all that comes back is positive stuff. So we will keep on shouting. We'll keep on shouting. But we need to realise the positives that we're getting isn't shadowing over the cracks of the fucking suicides that are happening in this sector. More needs to be done. Big bods need to stand up. Put an old something up the jumper. Backbone. Get in there. And stand up and say, nah, no more. This needs to change. Please, please, please. I'm sick and tired of it. But on that note, we've got plenty of other stuff as always going on. The cameras have changed. This video might look slightly different because it's a new camera. There's new lighting in the room. There's a new influx of heat in this room that we're now crossing a border of how to get around that. Thank you very much. Have a good week. Sorry the voice isn't quite there yet. It might be for the best that you don't hear me properly. But over to you, you wonderful people of the construction sector. Go and enjoy the sunshine.